Hey y'all, I'm Gigi.
It's your boy Lavelle.
And this is the Cozy Corner.
Back at it again with episode 2.
Always appreciated the sunny days, knowing that I had to be grounded before the money came, knowing that I won't always have to deal with the hunger pains. And
What are we talking about today?
Today we're talking about how social media influences relationships.
In good and bad ways. It's not all negative.
It's not all negative, but for the most part.
It is, kind of. That's what we're here for. It's an open book type of vibe. You can learn a lot of things. You're going to have your own opinions, and who knows? There's a lot of things that you may find relatable to you in this video. Even if you are, even if you are single or if you are in a relationship, has social media affected you in a positive or negative way? Or how has it helped you in a positive way?
Ooh, yeah, that's a good point.
Because I feel like it's helped me in some positive ways.
But even like when I was single, I feel like I would want, this was back in the day when I was younger.
Clearly.
Right? But when I was single and like I would go on the internet and I'd see all these relationship goals and like I wanted my future relationship to be just like that. Like,
is it just like that?
It's better.
That's what she's supposed to say.
No, I'm for real. Like, it's authentic.
The thing for me is like I always saw stuff like that, and I ain't gonna lie, I was one of those people that thought it was just like cringe.
Lame. I knew you were gonna say that.
On social media you can make anything look like however you want it to look.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's why I said like.
But that's why it's a weird domain for us, because we're just
ourselves.
Mm-hmm. So it's like, this is kind of like a journal for us, if this makes sense. We enjoy having meaningful conversation between ourselves, and we enjoy helping and having meaningful conversation with others.
Versus like the couples who just do what's trending at the moment or what they feel like will go viral. Yeah. Because they want to stay in that like couple goals type of.
I'm not with the whole faking it till you make a thing, and I think, for us, like something that we've been deep in on is building a genuine community with genuine people. So that's always like how we carried ourselves. So easily you could look at couples on YouTube and feel like, oh well, it's all entertainment and stuff like that, but there is a real world aspect to their everyday lives and doing content creating and the things that they expose to y'all and the things that they allow to share with not only an audience but people that they may consider family.
The younger generation wants something that's not realistic.
Right.
Like you said, that's not their everyday lives. I feel like people, they're so consumed with social media, they think that everything that they see on there is real.
They try to replicate that in their everyday life or in their dating space, and it never really works out because you're idolizing something that isn't organic and you're trying to normalize something for yourself. You're not even fully aware that you're not comfortable with those decisions. And a lot of people are fooled by temporary happiness or the idea of things that they feel like make them happy. And I'm being honest, like, even around my early stages, being 18, 19, 20 years old, I kind of was like outcast compared to everybody else. I didn't really care for trends and stuff like that. But I understand that some people, struggle with multiple things. Some people don't like to be alone. I'm all for, being able to have someone in your corner or an outlet, but there's a healthy way to do things and there's a non-healthy way to do things.
I'm all for, love and relationships and like goals, but I think you need to take into consideration that there are younger people that are like watching you on a consistent basis. They're like, why is my life not like that? Why is my relationship not like that? Why is my man not bringing me flowers home every night? Like,
that's a good point.
Yeah. So it makes them feel like they're doing something wrong or like behind in life or not in the right spot. Like, no, they're just highlighting all of the good
things that their partner brings to them.
And they're posting it. They're not posting all the fights. They're not posting
the differences.
How many times he or she cheated. Like, they're not posting all
not saying that all these people cheat though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, they're not posting all the toxic parts of their relationship.
The ups and downs is just naturally gonna happen.
Exactly. They're not posting that, so you're not seeing the negative side of their relationship. They're not just all like positive.
I think neither one of us are like in line to just be like forcing stuff. just for like shits and giggles or just to like
And
pass over the
I
moment.
never want to get to that point to where like we are doing that.
Now, if the minute you start doing that, you're not genuinely moving in the right direction and you're not happy. Everybody's different, but like all that toxic behavior and screaming and yelling and manipulating and gaslighting and stuff like that, like what people feel like is a norm with what they view on social media, I don't necessarily believe in. You got to be in control of those emotions, like no matter what. Because when it comes down to it, like, yeah, you feel the way that you feel, but ultimately, it's your actions and how you feel. It doesn't end with you, if that makes sense. Yeah, and I feel like again to hit on the topic at hand, like that's something that social media influences. It helped it.
Toxic love.
Yeah,
I don't believe in marriage, but
What?
I love her.
So if I give him $3 billion, he gonna marry me. But why do you think the money has to be involved for you to get married? Because nobody got his back. Money really. What? What?
You talking your shit.
Yeah,
yeah, like
For sure.
it's in the music, and I love some of the artists that create music around that, not the message, but their music in general. But like that toxic love stuff is like nah. And I hate to say
And
it.
I'm not gonna lie, when I was younger, I literally thought it was cute. I thought it was cute because I thought that they liked me so much that
That's just how they gotta express it.
exactly, yeah.
Like it's so much that I
But,
gotta do some wild stuff just to get your attention.
Yes.
And that's just nah.
I'm completely different now. My morals are different. My outlook on life and like relationships and like how I should be treated and talked to, completely different.
Everybody has made, even myself, everybody has made poor decisions. Go.
I know that you be seeing like those memes that's like, ooh, I love a man who could like put me in my place. Like,
Oh, that too much that oh, I'm a handful shit is just crazy. It's not cute.
and they think it's they think it's cute because of social media.
And I'm not speaking about myself, even though I hold myself to a high standard, but just openly saying there's no grown man, like a high valued man that handles himself accordingly, that is independent, that can hold his own and bring a lot to the table in his relationship, that's gonna be willing to deal with that. And if he is willing to deal with that and he is a high value man, I gotta drop a gem again, don't I?
Go ahead.
Most of the time, that man that is willing to deal with that is controlling you with your emotions or either financially. Cat is out the bag.
That's true.
Just keeping it a being. And if you willing to submit to that, that's on you.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to judge you. I am nobody to judge anybody. Understand that you're not truly happy. And you have to understand that there are things that are far more valuable than situational happiness.
On social media, you also see guys who are like, I love toxic women, crazy women.
Chase me down, slash my tires.
Exactly. Like, they like that. And, like, the only people that like that are people who are bored with themselves. They're uncomfortable within themselves because no secured person is going to like that.
You got to love yourself enough to be able to differentiate reality and social media.
As soon as I started getting away from social media and going within myself.
I ain't gonna lie, I think that was the biggest thing. Like, it's not off topic, but it is off topic. That was the biggest thing that stuck out to me when we met, was that you're not big on social media. Like, you don't, and you still don't have an Instagram. Like, you don't have Twitter. Like, you don't have none of that stuff. Like,
I don't care for any of that stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
that's a complete 360. Low key. It wasn't like you just was like heavy on social media, like even when we first met, but just in general,
like 8-9 years ago, I had like all like social media. If I was to break up with someone, like I felt like it had to be like this huge thing based because of what I seen on social media. I didn't feel like a breakup needed to look like how social media made it look like, or
burning, bleaching people clothes, throwing stuff away, throwing stuff off the balconies, all that different. Or if you cheat, if you leave me, I'm gonna go try to mess with your best friend or your brother or whatever. Like, that's just wild. And honestly, in when you live in that type of space, you only like bring negative things to yourself.
Exactly.
And you only have negative impacts on other people.
That's a good
and
point.
you only bring harm to yourself, because when all the damage is done and you walk away from the situation, you'd be like, damn. Whether male or female, you'd be like, damn, I wasted so much time, or I shouldn't have messed with such and such, or I should have never had you know what with you know what in the back seat of the Honda. Like,
and at the end of the day, you kind of lost like a part of yourself because you took so much energy from yourself.
So now you're at war with yourself. You start devaluing yourself. You start looking at yourself like you less than. If that derives from social media, I highly suggest that y'all take some time to reflect, dive into yourself, be a little bit more selfish, be a little bit more patient, get away from the distractions, stop feeling like you need to be a part of everything. Not saying just completely shut yourself off from the world, but spend some time with yourself, identifying your wants and needs. Spend some time with yourself, identifying what aligns with you and what doesn't. Not what Lori Harvey doing, not what Megan Thee Stallion doing, not what Future doing, not what Huncho doing, what you want out of life.
People go on social media and they see, like I said earlier, like all these couple goals and like people being happy
and they think
like
it's
all these highlights.
Just,
and then when problems pop up in their relationship, they're like, wait a minute.
They don't know how to deal with it.
Exactly.
And like, they don't want to deal with it.
This is not what I see on social media. Like, this is not how it's supposed to go. Yes.
And believe it or not, you get into those situations and then you just calling it quit after quit after quit after quit. It's exhausting. It's exhausting for yourself and other people. And that's why you see a lot of people nowadays, they be like, oh, I'm tired of going through the talking phase. Oh, what's your favorite color? What's your favorite color? What's your... I can't relate clearly, but I understand it. They're jumping from one pot to the next pot to the next pot.
I want to touch on this really quick. Even with us girls, we see that a relationship and the man is like showering her with gifts and money and diamonds and cars. All of that is great. My man does a lot for me. But at the end of the day, there's other stuff going on in her relationship that she's not talking about on social media. Us girls, we kind of like look at that and we glorify that, but that's not real life. If we run into a guy who does have all of that, he's not treating us right, we feel like we have to put up with that because of what social media portrays.
Yeah, I feel like there's just far more fulfillment in somebody that is pouring into you emotionally and spiritually and mentally. Like, all the physical things are gonna come. Like, you get flowers, you get gifts, you have, like, you could get all those things. Like, that's the extra, that's the glitter. But like, if the foundation ain't right, none of that stuff matters. You got all these cars, you got all these material things, you got the next Birkin, you got the Chanel purse, you got the new whatever, but you driving a nice car, but you're not happy for real. You know what I'm saying? And that's both. Like, I'm not specifically only talking about women, that's men too. And it's a different impact on the men's side, because now you worried about, or both sides too, but mainly you see with men, now you worried about, oh, is she gonna try and take money out of my pocket? When we get divorced, she gonna try and force this money off of me or of you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got all this crazy stuff that's going on with these young athletes and these older women that just want to have a baby. Like, all that different type of stuff. And then you see that stuff on social media and you be like, oh, well, what's wrong with it? So the people that don't find anything wrong with it, that's just even more crazier. And I ain't gonna name drop Buddy because he's super big on social media. But like, remember I showed you that interview with that DJ, and he was speaking of like how, oh, it should be normal for like a guy that's like 30 years old to be talking to a girl that's like 19, 20, 21, as long as she legal. We not going.
Everybody know who you're talking about.
Well, everybody doesn't know, but a lot of people probably do know. But like, that just pours into like the mindset of people that like see stuff like that, and how, because you are a public figure, they may dive into it and be like, oh, it's nothing wrong with it at all. And there's literally something like severely wrong with that.
Yeah.
Like, you know that you're dating somebody that's not mentally there. You may not be fully aware of it, but most of the time you are, and you're just manipulating the situation. And the people that are seeing that, they normalize that, and now it's an endless cycle of that. So,
what do you guys think?
I'm interested to hear your standpoints on how it's affected you, the things that y'all see, whether you agree or disagree. And I'm all for the conversation. So we could turn this into a series, Like, comment, share, subscribe. I want to hear how your aunties feel, how your uncles feel, how your cousin feel. Let me know. Let us know in the comment section below. Until next time, we gonna catch y'all on the next one.